Ladies and gentlemen, I am happy to bring you a video tonight where we're going to be talking about the changes to Nintendo's monetizing policy on YouTube. This is your boy Healing, and I'm here with my boy JuJu.
What's up?
We just wanted to brush on this because we thought it was kind of a big change, and it tells a lot about where YouTube might potentially be going. In the background, you are seeing me play some good old League of Legends. I chose one of my favorite games because I stomped this game, but that's neither here nor there. So we're just going to get started with tonight with kind of what's going on. YouTube recently paired up with Nintendo to change their policy on how videos are monetized, and that you can register accounts with Nintendo, and they basically split it with you 60-40 and then 70-30.
Yeah, so basically, everybody online is really making this out to be like a really huge debacle, and I really think that this is kind of a big deal because it's like Nintendo wants to be in the YouTube game, even though they really don't need to. But when they're in the game, they're in it to win. They want to make the rules everything. Like they're kind of screwing over Let's Players, honestly.
Yeah, well, I thought the one part that was super interesting was they were talking about how, when people play on YouTube, the Let's Players and all that kind of stuff, it's free publicity. Like, that's just the way it is. Lots of YouTubers and streamers, I've done this, especially when I started playing StarCraft. I watched Day 9, totally free, and he monetizes all of his videos. And after I got done watching him, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to go buy StarCraft right now. And, yeah, I did, and I played StarCraft for a long time. And I really just think that it's kind of dumb to try to step in and, say, hey, we want a cut of all that profit now instead of just taking the free publicity. I don't know if I entirely agree with it.
Yeah, totally. I mean, like you gotta respect that. There's gonna be some positive input by Let's Players. There's gonna be some negative input by Let's Players, but I don't think you should really be sticking your nose in it. Because let's look at like Minecraft, for example. That got super big on YouTube. Like on any Let's Player plays Minecraft and they play the crap out of it, and it's really gotten some great sales. And now Notch, I'm pretty sure he sold the rights to it to
Yeah, they're part of Microsoft now.
so like it really does grow a franchise. I think that's what Nintendo wants, but Nintendo kind of wants to play by their own rules. But there are a lot of people who are sort of against Let's Players. Like they don't really consider it an actual job where they should get money. What do you think about that?
I don't know. I think when it comes to things like Let's Playing and just uploading videos to YouTube in general, especially when you monetize it, depending on how big your base is for like viewers, I definitely think it's a full-time career. There's a few YouTubers I watch. There's one guy, I think it's Unexpected Awesome, or I can't remember his name title, but he makes videos on Marvel and that kind of stuff, and he makes a buttload of videos. And I have full faith and credit that he's probably bringing in a fairly large profit, and I'm pretty sure that's what he likes to do full time. I don't know why anybody who puts that much time into research, video editing, and all that other kind of stuff shouldn't be able to make a living. I heard one person talk about how that 9 to 5 desk job or just those standard things aren't the only job to have. And I think there's some truth to that because there's lots of different ways to make money. And I think the YouTube community is really just a big and up and comer. It's still pretty young, just as all esports is. It's kind of an unexplored area. And before the internet, it was hard to say, hey, that's what happened to movies. People started making videos and they're like, oh my God, movies are awesome. And it just kind of grew from there.
Yeah, totally. I totally agree that it is a legitimate job because, like you said, at that point when you're putting all this effort in, you not necessarily are a YouTuber. You are an entertainer. This is really going into like the making of movies, music, everything like that. Even critics and reviewers, like they get paid. Why shouldn't YouTubers?
Right, and I don't necessarily think Nintendo or any other company for that matter should be cutting in on that profit because since it is free publicity, usually they have to pay for that kind of advertising. But now you have people making small amounts of money, making an honest living, and all of a sudden you want to try giving them a 30% hit on their profits or 40% depending on how you do the videos. I don't think that many YouTubers will now do Nintendo videos. I actually think this will greatly discourage them. I know that if I were doing it, I wouldn't want to do Nintendo videos. If they were like all of a sudden, hey, I want some of your money, and you're like, fine, I'll just play a different game. Like, it doesn't matter to me, you know. It's fun making videos and recording for people. It doesn't necessarily have to be on a per game basis, you know. It's just a pro when you can see things like Monster Hunter 4 and Bayonetta 2 and, you know, all those other super cool games.
Right. The problem doesn't really seem that big a deal by the things that we've said so far, but one of the main issues is if should you actually decide to start doing Nintendo videos and start sharing your revenue, as we said before, it's 60-40 or 70-30. If you decide to do, you give them your whole channel so that they take 30% of your revenue, but Nintendo takes that, and then YouTube itself takes like 50% already. So you combine that, and you're not really getting a lot for how much you used to get. And yeah, I really feel like YouTubers are really gonna just drop Nintendo altogether so they can just keep making money. There's tons of other creators of games that won't be doing this. I feel like, though, this might be the first step in having other companies, EA.
That's what I was thinking too. I was like, EA is gonna do some stupid shit like this, like no doubt.
They're pretty evil. Like
they're like, oh, you're enjoying this franchise? Let us ruin it for you, and then they do, and it's terrible.
Absolutely. I just think it's bad. Like everyone just wants a piece of the damn.
I think, you know, one of the prompts we have written down, and for this video we have, is it ethical for YouTube to do this? I mean, technically it is, because it is their content, so I can see where they're coming from, saying, hey, this is ours and we don't want to, you know, just give away the free profits. But I mean, at the same time, it's the free publicity thing. I mean, if I made a game and, you know, popular streamers wanted to play it and all of a sudden it boosts your sales up, I mean, why wouldn't you want that? Yeah, I think that'd just be amazing. So I can see where Nintendo's coming from. I just don't think they understand the community and what it's really all about. So yeah.
So something I really don't appreciate, and if anyone watches the Jimquisition on The Escapist and YouTube, created by Jim Sterling, he talks a lot about how communities on Steam really don't get freedom of speech because the publishers of any game really can control what people say in the forums. You know, they can just block any and all negative input to make their game stand out more and not seem like a load of shit, even though it is. And that's kind of what I think Nintendo is trying to do, because if you do go with it, you can only go with the games that have been greenlit by them. You know, you have to follow their rules. Otherwise, you can't do any Nintendo things at all, which is probably why people are gonna, you know, just stop doing it. And when it comes to YouTubers against this, like probably the most prominent, PewDiePie, he's totally against this. He is making the argument, which I totally agree with, that people go to his channels and watch him play games not for the game itself necessarily, but because of the person themselves. They come for the YouTuber's content, because let's be honest, there's lots of Let's Players playing the same exact games, but there's really that identity thing going on where people will they'll pick and choose their favorites and watch those guys.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, like I said, Day9 earlier, Day9 could literally play anything, and I just watch him forever. Like, he's a man after my own. I'm not no homo, but, you know, like, I love Day9 so much. And I date Day9. Like, you know, they're a little homo, but, you know, he's just one of those guys. You know, I just am so entranced by how he speaks, and he's a good entertainer. And regardless if he started playing League or if he's still playing StarCraft, like, it doesn't matter to me. I'd still want to watch the videos that he makes. So, yeah, I definitely think people watch the people more than they do the videos. Should Nintendo do this? I don't think they should at all, just because I think it's going to put them behind everywhere else. I mean, back in 2014 when there was the copyright crisis and everybody was freaking out, and all of a sudden all these videos are getting taken down and flagged because they're changing their copyright policy and all that kind of stuff. You know, there was lots of game designers and companies who were like, hey, No, please do use our videos. We would love it to. And yes, go ahead and monetize them. We don't care because they realized all that revenue they got from it and all that extra benefit and publicity. So I think Nintendo is looking at it in the wrong light, I want to say. You know, they don't really understand the full impact of the YouTube community.
Yeah, really. And thinking about all that, it's really hard to think of anything really good that can come of it. I mean, sure they'll be getting a rise in profit, theoretically speaking, but who knows how long this will last? Like a lot of people, there's a lot of opposition to it. So, will this stand? Who knows?
I think what will happen, and this happens with a lot of programs that Nintendo launches and then aren't as popular, I think they'll realize that nobody is going for the joint, you know, to team up with Nintendo because they don't like the censorship. So I think it'll be around for 4 or 5 months, and then it will get shut down because nobody wants to do it. That's what I think will happen.
Right. Which is sad because I really wanted to get around to making videos on Nintendo games and whatnot.
Monster Hunter 4.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And there's like 3 days.
Yeah, it comes out soon. Yeah, I've been so busy I just totally forgot. But yeah, I'm excited for it.
I really want the remake of Majora's Mask. It's my favorite Zelda. Even though I already have it for Virtual Console on the original, I don't care. I want it.
Yeah, I think Majora's Mask is gonna be super awesome. So, yeah, I don't know. I think we hit most of our bases actually.
Yeah, pretty much. So just to recap, 60/40 ad revenue sharing or 70/30. If you want to do, instead of individual videos, like give Nintendo the rights to like all of your videos, can basically them sharing your subscribers and making money off of it, as well as you having to give away like 50% of your earnings to YouTube, since it is using their program, their website. Lots of opposition by big timers like Jim Sterling, writer and creator, producer, blah blah blah, of the Jimquisition on the Escapist magazine, which is a pretty good site. You guys should check that out. I personally, my favorite person there is the critic known as Yahtzee Croshaw, who has this show Zero Punctuation. Shameless plug.
Ha ha ha! I didn't get that one.
That's pretty much it.
All right, so that's gonna be it for us, guys. Thank you for taking the time. This Nintendo change has been kind of a little under the radar. I mean, I tried to look on Google and I couldn't really find anything about it. But if you do like the videos, please send us a like. Please send us a subscribe. Please feel free to leave comments below. This is from Bushi Gaming, your boy Healing.
And JuJu.
All right, we'll catch you around. Peace.